Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and it's been a minute. There's no doubt it's been a minute since I've uploaded a video. As you can tell, background's changed a little bit. Only thing that hasn't really changed is I'm still wearing this hat. For those still wondering, I did definitely get a cut, but it's just a hat day. It's just one of those days. So yeah, switch things up a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about this setup. And yeah, so as you can tell by the title, we have a review of another pair of Yeezys. I got these off the Confirmed app, and frankly, I don't think I even really wanted these. I think I had kind of just put in my slot in the raffle and forgot to cancel it. But so that's kind of what happened. We'll give you guys a quick review, and we'll talk a little bit of hold or sell. And even though these aren't my exact usual size 10, I am going to throw them on feet for you guys, give you guys a look, and then I'll talk about what am I going to end up doing with these. Am I going to hold? Am I going to sell? What am I going to do? And that is that. But I also thought I'd mention it is, NBA season's kind of gotten kicked off a little bit. Copped this Tatum Celtics jersey shirt. Retail is 35 bucks. I found a sale on like Olympia Sports where it's like 26 or 27 bucks. I'm usually not a fan of like the t-shirt jerseys. I just think it looks a little whack. But with the new like Celtics City jerseys, I don't know if you guys have seen it for those like non-Celtics fans, but it's super like simplistic. They went after like this banner design to look like the Celtics championship banners. And I just think it looks, I like minimal, but I think it looks far too minimal to justify buying a new jersey. And I don't think it looks fantastic on a jersey. But on a t-shirt, I actually think it looks great, super minimal. When it comes to jerseys, I'm like pretty picky, it's kind of weird. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. What you guys came here for. Quantum on the box right there. Now, of course, for those who didn't know, there's the Quantum and then there's the basketball. These, of course, are not the basketball, as I say, Quantum on them. Size 9.5. And I get a little bit closer. And the frozen blue colorway. Get them right out of the box. Talk a little bit about them. No extra laces, but for those of you who do know, I did have the Azureths. I ended up letting those go. I resold them. But as you can tell, the frozen blue is pretty similar to the Azureths, I would say. Just give you guys a quick once over first. Right here. All the info. This is actually my first time having a pair of Quantums in hand. I know there was like a lot of hype when the Quantum was first released and just kind of due to the way it was released. Since then, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. It definitely isn't the most like mainstream, easiest to wear model as far as the Yeezy goes. Obviously, like I know 350s are very mainstream now and everybody has a pair of 350s. But the Quantums are pretty cool. I mean, for my first impressions here, maybe it's just this colorway, but I'm a fan of the way this kind of blue, and then along with the ribbing here, it almost looks like waves, to be honest. That's what I think of when I think of this design here. Now, these were, basically 250 bucks, which is a lot of money. Of course, we get that boost in the bottom. I mean, if it didn't have boost, it'd just be even crazier. But 250 bucks is a good amount of money. And while I do think there are a lot of cool features here, I do think that's taxing. I'm feeling around here on the inside. There's definitely some ankle cushioning there, which I really like to see as far as comfort goes. And you can see it kind of has an ergonomic kind of cutout there for your ankle. But these, of course, are a higher top. Now, I will say if you wanted like some stylish boots, I could see these being super cool for the winter time. I don't know if, I personally wouldn't drop 250 on a pair of Yeezys just to beat them up as a pair of snow boots, but they would be mad comfortable, I would assume, with the boost. But just like the Azureths, these have that green glow on the ribbon. We'll see if I don't know if you guys can see that well. That green glow on the ribbon. I know it might be kind of tough because I have that bright light behind the camera. Okay, maybe I can go like that. They go pretty nice. Kind of dope, adds a nice little feature. I always like having those extra little hidden things. The first thing, and this is mainly because I had the Azureths in hand before I had a pair of 700s in hand. It just so happens to be that they're basically the same colorway. But when I see, especially this view of the Quantums, this toe down view, when I see that, I immediately think Yeezy 700 V3, just in a high top version. But the only thing that kind of confused me a little bit is this heel portion. I'm not a huge fan of that heel portion right there. The gray black kind of comes together. I think it looks kind of weird, right? Because it's very flowy, right? The ribbing, and I talked about how this with the blue, to me, looks kind of like ocean waves. And then it kind of just, the immediate cut there to more jagged geometric shapes. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it on this colorway at least. I'm sure on different colorways, you know, bariums and things like that, where there's more gray, there's more black, there's more of those colorways that match with the heel area, maybe it would turn out better. But I'm personally just not a fan of the way that back looks. All right, and before we hop into on feet, I do want to talk quickly about a little bit of a hold or sell. I know it's been a little bit since I've done one, and frankly speaking, this isn't going to be a super in-depth one. If my options are only hold or sell, I would say opt to hold. I mean, if we look at the previous quantums, like the bariums, the resale value really hasn't been there. You know, they've been sitting for, you know, well below retail. I do think there's a chance that these can go up, as far as I know, and I'll post a screenshot up as I usually do, but right now at the time of recording, these are sitting at about 240 or so in this size 9.5 on StockX, which of course is $10 below retail, and that's not to mention if you were to sell them, you have to pay the StockX fees and everything like that, so you would be taking a loss for sure. But I do think there is somewhat of a chance, just because we, like I said in my Asric video, we don't get a lot of blue Yeezys, and of course, each time I say this, that kind of value from having a more uncommon color is going to diminish, just because right now that we had the Asric, we have another blue shoe, like that extra fact of having a blue Yeezy is going to mean less. But if I had to choose between hold or sell, I would definitely hold. I do think there's somewhat of a chance that these can sit around for maybe, let's say, 6 months or a year, and people come back to them and say, hey, those are kind of cool, or I don't know, maybe in the summer people are gonna think these are kind of dope because of the blue, and maybe it's more of a summery vibe. So if I had to choose between the two, that's what I would choose. What am I personally gonna do? And listen, a lot of people make videos talking about hold or sell, you know, what you should do, this or that, but they never really talk about what they're specifically gonna do. And I think that's very important for disclosure, so that when people are reviewing your videos, and if people are taking your videos for advice, they know what you are specifically gonna do. And so what am I specifically gonna do for this specific shoe is I'm gonna return them. I wanna be completely honest. I feel like some people on YouTube that talk about reselling sneakers or sneakers as an investment, sometimes, I don't know, get a little embarrassed that like an investment didn't work out and like they have to return or something like that. But I don't know how many times I've said it on this channel, but I'll say it again, is I really wanna stress that when it comes to material goods as an investment, you really need to think about how much the upside there really is, as well as how much time it will take for that upside to mature. Now, I'm sure if maybe if I gave this pair a chance and I let it sit around for 6 months, a year, I don't know, maybe longer, there's a chance that these would go up. Let's say they even went up to 300, right? That's a $50 profit from retail if I can find a local buyer. And I really don't think that's worth the risk, right? Because there's a big risk given what we've seen from, like, let's say the bariums, that these continue just to sit below retail and I'd be taking a loss. So I'm not embarrassed at all or whatever to say that I'm gonna be returning these to Adidas, gonna just getting my money back. And sometimes, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a huge advantage, guys. Huge advantage when you are using material goods as an investment, is sometimes you do have the capability to use the return. And so do that, right? You know, I think this is almost like a fallacy that, you know, you can buy any shoe and you just sit on it for a bunch of years and, you know, you're gonna make some money. First off, we can have a whole different video on whether or not that's actually true. But second, let's say these are 300 bucks in 2 years. Is that really the best place to place your capital of $250 just to make 50 bucks in 2 years? Really? That's 25 bucks a year, right? So you guys gotta think about that, right? Time to mature, how much value are we really gonna be seeing after that time, and then weighing that and thinking about your decisions, right? Now, of course, I wanna preface always when I make these hold or sell videos, if you love the shoe, if you like it, if you bought it to wear it, do that, right? This hold or sell section is really only for those people that are considering these to resell or whatever the case may be. So I just want to preface that, because I do know some of you come here for the review to see the on feet, right? And maybe you do like the shoe, and that's great. That's fine if you like the shoe and I don't. That's just my quick hold or sell there on this specific pair of the Quantum in the frozen blue colorway. So we're gonna throw them on feet. You know, I'll talk about the sizing like I always do at the beginning of the on feet section. I always post up what the sizing is for those curious. Now, of course, I just wanna preface real quick, these are in a 9.5, I usually wear a 10. So whatever I say about sizing, I'm gonna try to think about, you know, if these were my size. And it's gonna be tough, right? It's gonna be tough because these aren't my size. So just wanna put that out there. These aren't my size, but I'm gonna do my best to give you guys, those who are looking for the sizing information, the best possible opinion I can give. But for now, guys, get on to on feet section, and I'll catch you guys next time.